Dan Reichert, welcome to the moon.
Oh, hey. What's is this Pandora's moon?
Yeah, it is Pandora's moon.
Oh, okay.
It's not our moon. Our moon
Okay.
probably doesn't have a cool, busted-up giant H floating above it.
It's
or,
pretty cool.
You know, whatever this other stuff is going. It also doesn't have this guy with his American flag laser gun.
I just noticed that, and that is a pretty cool looking
two
gun.
drones.
All right.
You can kind of pull a Don Bradman here, but he doesn't respond the way that I wish he would.
I miss Don.
He's not a true Bradman.
So are these drones this fella's like the turrets from Borderlands 2, basically?
This is Wilhelm,
Okay.
one of the new Vault Hunters in Borderlands, the pre-sequel, which is out now on was it PC, Xbox 360, and PS3.
Okay, and this is the PC
This is the
version we're
PC
playing?
version, which seems like that's been the way to play Borderlands. I think for the past couple here, the ports have been pretty good, and it looks a lot better than you'd get on an old console. So
Okay.
yeah, so this is Wilhelm. He's level 9 right now. I have not played a ton. I've not gotten super deep into this.
Now, I just downloaded this on PC, and I've spent hundreds of hours with the previous 2 Borderlands games.
Yeah.
I am not super sold on this game. I think we've talked about this on the podcast.
Yeah.
Can you sell me on this, or are my fears confirmed?
I'm not super into it so far.
Okay.
But you know, when we get out of an atmosphere, we can kind of, maybe you can kind of see why. But here we are in Concordia, which is kind of the first city that I've been to. We've done some stuff. We have to get to Springs. Basically, this game is set between Borderlands 1 and 2.
Okay.
Handsome Jack is not a bad guy at this stage. So this is kind of, I guess, how you will see Handsome Jack become a bad guy?
So this is like the Metal Gear 3 and Metal Gear 5 of the Handsome Jack arc,
Basically,
correct?
yeah,
Okay.
something like that.
All
So,
right.
yeah, so that's one of the new features here. We can jump, we can boost. You can kind of hit double jump here to get a little boost. That'll make more sense out in the atmosphere. But also, while I'm in the air, I can hit duck to slam down onto things.
All right.
Let's head out into the general city here.
And all characters can do that butt stomp thing?
Yep.
Okay. Gotcha. Yeah, I really just don't know if it's because it's too soon from Borderlands 2, or if it's the idea of the moon stuff, or if it's this other studio making it. But like all these things, I think combining are what's made me kind of skeptical of this. But you know, I'm still going to give it a shot.
Yeah, I think that is yes. All those fears, I think, play into my feelings about this game in one way or another as well.
Okay.
That laser's annoying me.
What is the name of Wilhelm's class?
I believe he is Enforcer.
Okay.
Maybe that doesn't actually show here.
That is a good gun. What's the name of that cool America gun?
It's the it's the Fire Starter.
All right, I'll take it.
Yeah.
Go to your skill tree again.
Okay.
Okay, so it does have the 3 branches.
Yep.
I couldn't tell at first.
Basically, this is Borderlands 2 plus some stuff.
Okay.
And some new characters. You know, that's sort of how a lot of it works. But a lot of the stuff you expect to see in a Borderlands game, that's all present in basically the exact same way. The big changes are, of course, like, you know, it's got new characters and the atmosphere stuff of being on the moon and this low gravity stuff. You see how I jump there.
Right.
This is the Sheriff. He's the mayor and the sheriff. He's a dick.
Okay. Yeah, this looks like Borderlands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So long, Merritt.
You were not exactly a huge fan of Borderlands 2, right?
Yeah, so I think, you know, the character of Handsome Jack it really turned me off of Borderlands 2 in a lot of ways. It wasn't funny.
Right.
It's just kind of like, hey, check out this guy, he's a jerk. And it's like, okay, well, I mean, yeah, that's kind of like, I guess I want to kill him. Just the story I think was really flat. I think the personalities they gave to the characters from the first Borderlands, I thought were pretty weak. I think some of the other characters in Borderlands 2 were pretty weak. And some of the gameplay stuff, you know, they made some smart moves as to how they expanded it over the first game, but I feel like maybe they didn't necessarily do as much as they could have there. It didn't feel like they had made enough of a departure there.
Okay.
Okay, so we're trying to build a robot army for Jack because he was in charge of that giant H in the sky.
Right.
And it got attacked. And so he called out for some Vault Hunters to help save him and kind of save the station. And we just got him off the station, and now he's down in town.
So is it the Hyperion Corporation?
Yeah.
Okay. So are you working for them?
You're working for Jack.
Okay.
You know, and he is ostensibly the Hyperion Corporation
Gotcha.
or representative or something. But
Okay.
Get going. I'll explain on the way.
so this game was developed by 2K Australia, with assistance from Gearbox, and that.
There's something you can do for me.
Okay.
G'day. My grinder, Bessie, finally died, and I need to scrounge up a couple.
Many of the characters in this game are Australian.
Okay. And to the point to where I think you mentioned something about them being kind of self-aware of it and joking about it, right? Like there's a claptrap or something.
Yeah, there's a claptrap that's doing an Australian accent, and it's silly.
Okay.
Let's go shopping.
The idea of the moon as space Australia
That's pretty funny, yeah.
is it's all right.
And do you prefer, like, 'cause the first one did not have a very defined antagonist, and, you know, complaints about the Handsome Jack character itself, I mean, I kind of like the idea of having a defined, like, this is the dude I'm going to kill. Did you almost kind of prefer the more just vague enemies of the first one?
No, I think that, you know, the first game had a lot of issues with, you know, story and kind of just like the encounter design actually was pretty bad. That end boss in Borderlands 1 and some of the other big bosses you'd fight along the way were pretty rotten.
Yeah.
So I get why, you know, just to tighten up the narrative and give it a more of a focus, you would want to have a set antagonist.
Right.
But I just don't think he was very good.
Okay.
Stingrays aren't easy to get to meat hunts on. So happens
But that gun doesn't make much sense considering America doesn't necessarily exist in this universe.
Yeah,
that's
that's,
the
well.
old Dahl garage I'm sending you to. Once you unlock a Stingray there, I'll fix it so all moon zoomies are Stingrayed up.
Boy, just looking at that O2 meter deplete right now is like making me weirdly mad. Like,
Yeah.
I hate, like I said on the.
So I'm burning more of it when I do this glide
Oh,
here.
really?
That burns it. The butt slam, I want to say burns some of it. Maybe not.
I hate that.
Yeah, so that's an item you equip. You know, so you will find ones with higher capacities and stuff like that along the way. So hopefully you get to a point where it's like not really an issue anymore. But
Why is that there? Why is that fun for anyone? I just don't understand how they sat around and decided like this is a thing we want to do. Like that is not a fun mechanic.
when it drains out, you start slowly losing health, so you don't instantly die.
Okay.
But yeah, so you get these little Sonic the Hedgehog 2 little bubble zone type things here where, you know, like there's oxygen coming out of this spot right here, so we can walk over it to refill oxygen. So instead of like freely exploring the environment, yeah, you do kind of feel this like feeling of like, well, I probably shouldn't get too far away because what if I run out of oxygen?
Man. I like to take my time and like really look around and, you know, explore environments and stuff like that, and I just think that would hamper it so bad.
Well, for you, the solution is to play as Claptrap, who is a robot and does not need oxygen.
But also then I would have to play a shooter as Claptrap, which is weird to me. But
Yeah,
I don't know
it's
if his
weird.
abilities are fun or whatever. Or...
His action skill is pretty interesting. I don't have a saved character. I don't have a saved Claptrap that we can use, unfortunately. That would be far enough along to have that skill unlocked. But basically, every time you hit his action skill, it kind of randomly pulls together some elements and gives you a kind of custom class kind of thing that does, you know, something slightly different. And
Okay.
that's kind of interesting.
Is the perspective like Oddjob and GoldenEye, like lower, like...
Nope. You look taller than other Claptraps, which is weird.
That seems silly, but all right.
Yeah. So, okay, we got these guys here. We should probably just run them over. These guys are all wearing helmets and stuff, you know, so you can, there's the concept of shattering a helmet, so they just constantly start taking damage from lack of oxygen is in there.
That's pretty cool.
And we just blew up.
This is making me wish I'd played the previous ones on PC. This looks pretty sharp.
Yeah, it's, yes.
It is one of those things where all my friends are playing on like 360, so it's like, well, I guess I'll get it on 360.
Yeah. So laser weapons are one of the new weapon types. There's cryo weapons for freezing things.
Okay. Can you like butt stomp and shatter them afterwards?
Yes, probably. You can shatter enemies. I imagine a
cool.
butt stomp would do it. Okay. So this apparently this quest I'm on wants me to donate 50 common items. Well, so let's just do something different here. Destroy scav, buggy, find an echo. All right, let's just stick on the story path here. Let's look and see where we need to go for that. Okay.
I mean, does it seem like the scale is as big as previous ones as far as just the sheer like amount of real estate that you can
So
explore?
far, it seems that way.
Okay. So it doesn't
this
seem
is
like a
pretty
deal.
early on in the game, so it's kind of hard to tell. But yeah, I mean, you know, the city seems large. This stuff, and
Okay.
you know, still have grenades. It's a little. I feel like it's a little harder to throw them in low grav, but
Oh yeah.
that beeping noise is so I can hit this to just create a little environment here.
Oh, like a bubble shield type thing.
Yeah, and when we're in air, the laser weapons will cause these guys to burn.
Oh, cool.
They don't burn outside of the atmosphere.
Okay.
So it's like the stuff they're doing with the moon, like, you know, you hear the audio get muffled when you're not in atmosphere. Like, they're treating the moon stuff pretty well, but in terms of just like what it does to your movement and stuff and the way it looks, like I don't love that part of it.
Right.
For sure. But
I do like some of that clever stuff though, as far as like, you know, breaking their helmets and things like that.
In this game.
I'm cool with jump pads.
You know what? Actually, we should get a vehicle. What am I doing?
Our vehicles all kind of like shielded to where you can breathe inside them and stuff?
You get air when you're in a vehicle.
Okay, cool.
Okay, let's drive over to our objective. Sometimes the vehicle will bounce in a weird way that I don't know if that's just an atmosphere, like a low gravity thing, but I feel like I've spun out in this thing a few more times than makes sense. I shouldn't be down here. We're just gonna take damage while we're down here. Oh jeez. Okay, let's.
Have you been doing mostly solo?
Yeah, so far. This is a few hours, you know, and this is not super deep in, so.
Okay. You know, Borderlands does co-op great. It was one of the first games to really kind of nail that 4-player co-op, but I think it's pretty playable single player. I mean, the last two have been kind of fun
absolutely.
to do.
I mean, I played through the entirety of Borderlands 1 by myself before the game was out, so I didn't really have options for multiplayer.
Yeah, I guess I did too.
And then you know, went and played multiplayer after the fact.
Yep.
And it's good. Yeah, it is good. I think there's some stuff with the way they handle multiplayer across the games where it's like, you're too far ahead, so you're not going to get story you know, like some of the stuff that they end up having to do to make it make sense. Can be a little odd at times, but generally I think they do a really good job. I have a point to spend, so let's just spend that before we get too much deeper in here. I've been working on, increasing damage with guns. That seems like a good...
Yep.
Here's another one that after I've killed something, it's a kill skill, so I get a hotter fire rate.
Okay.
Which, that worked really well for me in previous games, stuff like that. So
I always loved the way they did skill trees. I thought they had some really clever, fun things to do. Like, that's one of my favorite things about Borderlands.
Wait, do I have to...
All right. Oh, wait, you actually have to... What the fuck?
I mean, it wants me to... Oh, okay.
Oh,
okay.
hi.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, I was like looking at the keypad here and just going like, come on.
Jesus. These look like Price is Right sliders.
Yeah. How much is the car going to be? $8,008, as it turns out.
I have never seen a Drew Carey Price is Right. Is he good?
I watched one and had my fill.
Yeah? Okay.
I mean, you know, it's like, how are you going to follow Bob Barker? It's Bob Barker.
That's true. And also, if I want Drew Carey, I'm just going to watch old Royal Rumbles.
Sure, of course.
WWE Hall of Famer, Drew Carey.
Yeah. All right, let's try one of these new vehicles here. This looks kind of cool.
It does.
Flat cannon or cryo rocket. Flat cannon sounds cool. All right. Bonza indeed. You can boost upwards and slam.
Oh, okay.
I've been able to hack their system
kinda
to
fun.
copy a fresh cloud over, so you'll be able to destruct these anywhere from now on.
All right.
Backside to see
I
Pickle.
like that.
Though feel free to get a feel for her first. See what she can do.
I'm kind of surprised this is almost making me want to play the game more, considering that all my fears are pretty much accurate, it sounds like.
Yeah,
I don't know, like this vehicle
on
seems
some
cool.
level it is still Borderlands, and if that's what you're looking for out of a Borderlands sequel, it's still that.
I just always really like the gameplay and the skill trees and everything, and it seems like most of that is intact. Just getting used to some moon crap.
Yeah, you have to get used to some moon crap. Absolutely, but you know.
Now you're on a stingray, you can jump that, no worries. Probably.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Nice. I've told Pickle you're coming. Just go meet him.
Lady sounds like Emma.
Sure, yeah.
Vault Hunter.
She
This is
steals
Colonel
stuff.
Zarpedon of the
That's
Lost
true.
Legion.
iPad cases.
Soon
Yeah.
Elpis will be rubble. I will be dead from the explosion along with everyone on Elpis and most of those living on Pandora below. I've seen you fight.
All right.
And I respect your skill. If you agree to leave now, I will send you an interstellar ship. We will not follow you. Think it over.
So if Gearbox was to go to Super Bonkers, Next Gen, Borderlands 3 or whatever, what do you think are the main things that you'd like to see
Jack hired us to kill
improved
bad
upon?
guys, get paid, and help people. No different from you. You say you're anything like us, and I'll kill you where you stand.
So the
Konnichiwa, everybody. Wanna play another round of bunkers and badasses?
Not now, Tina.
Oh, right. Serious time. My bad.
So the story is kind of told in flashback. You see, Athena is one of the new characters that's in this game. She has been captured by characters from the previous game, and she's kind of telling the story to them as you do it.
Okay.
I can turn off the oxygen if I want. That seems like a dumb idea.
Welcome to my
Sell
humble
this
shop.
crap. I know I have that quest to go donate a bunch of items or whatever, but whatever. Deal with that later.
Well played.
Oh, I keep you breathing, yes?
It's a better shield across the board.
There you go.
And we got class mods here. All right,
Yes.
let's buy that, I guess. I don't know. All right.
I think one of my primary complaints about Borderlands is that the environments have always seemed very static to me.
Sure.
You know, everything's just kind of this unmoving, like, I don't know. It just doesn't seem
Yeah,
like
it's
the worlds are very alive.
There are barrels that you can blow up, and that's about it. So I'll pop my
Yeah.
action skill here. It caused these two drones to appear. One of them heals me, the other one goes out and attacks targets.
Okay, that's cool. I like that.
The enemies here will also try to butt stomp you.
Okay.
But in terms of like what I want to what I think like a next generation Borderlands game would be.
Yeah.
Like I think it's got to have more options than just like here's one more item. It's this O2 item.
Right.
Like I think there are just more dramatic changes to make.
Do you think it's conceivable to have like a seamless world, maybe? Because it's always
Sure,
been very
I think that would
segmented.
be nice. I think I think that would go a long way. I think a higher player count. I think, I think there's a case to be made for making something that has you encountering players that are not necessarily part of your game out in the world.
Like Destiny?
Sort of, yeah. Like more MMO style mechanics. I
Yeah,
think, aren't necessarily the worst thing in the world. If done properly, and I
Right.
think that there's a case to be made that would be pretty cool for Borderlands.
Yeah, especially if they could like smartly incorporate some PvP elements.
Sure, yeah. I mean, they have the dueling stuff that's always been there.
Yeah.
And in the first game, they had those arenas that I thought were not great.
Yeah, but if they could make it more organic, like in the world and stuff, like factions
absolutely.
or something.
I think that to get there, and I feel like they need like better visual differentiation between the characters.
Yeah.
So like if you're all playing the same class, you all look the same.
Yep.
I'd rather create a character and have armor that shows how much I've played the game and that sort of stuff. The shield is cool as a defensive item, but I think it would be like getting helmets and just not just from a visual perspective, but from the idea of like you think about how random the loot is and what they could do with different pieces of armor in a loot system like that. I think
Right.
that'd be really neat.
Yeah.
Or it could be really neat. I mean, it could be terrible, but depends on how you do it. Ooh, that's bad.
What's your interest level in Battleborn?
It's low.
Okay.
I don't know. Like nothing. It looks I don't know enough about it
Okay.
to say one way or the other.
Right.
When the way they kept talking about like it's this hobby grade, and I was like, what is it? What?
Yeah, Randy gets pretty excited about stuff.
Yeah. Let's look at our. Oh wait, we can't look at the map while. If I were to change one thing about Borderlands, let me look at the map while I'm in the air. How about that? Let me open the menu while
That's the biggest problem in the game.
That's the hugest problem. This whole game.
That action skill does seem really cool. I like that.
Yeah, it's I like action skills in Borderlands that tend to increase my survivability.
Yeah.
So yeah, the having something that's going to heal me, something that's going to help me at the same time, like that's good. I liked Roland in the first game. I thought the turret was good.
Oh yeah.
Once you spec it in a direction where it's like I stand here and I get almost a full heal.
Yeah.
So you can kind of just pop it whenever things go bad. That tends to be how I play Borderlands.
Mordecai was my guy in the first one because I loved just like summoning a lightning hawk to go attack my enemies. Like that was always cool and it was really leveled up.
I feel like Borderlands 2, the classes were designed in a way that made it more reliant on other people.
I'm trying to remember,
it felt like there was no for me there was no Roland equivalent where it was like, okay, like I'm super survivable, like I'm not going to get into trouble because this action skill gets me out of a lot of trouble, and a lot of the various options at my disposal will kind of keep me safe.
Also, like Axton didn't you didn't like him?
I played as Axton, but
okay.
Axton didn't do it quite as effectively as Roland did.
I liked. I played as Zero mainly.
Can I get there?
Yeah. I liked Zero, like the ability to, if I was in trouble or whatever, to just disappear and just dash away and recover my health and everything. That was really nice. Along with the melee stuff was great.
Yeah, I feel like my playstyle for Borderlands has just become full-on survivability. Like I will take any armor or any shield that has health regen on it. That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to have to rely on pickups. Like I just let me regenerate that stuff on my own. So I actually have a class skill right now equipped that does that. I don't know where I'm going. I guess there are more dots down this way, so maybe I should head down this way and hope it curves around.
Yeah, you can't quite get over hills and stuff in this game nearly as much as in something like Skyrim or whatever, where you can just kind of cheese it.
Yeah, they definitely they build canyons. It's built.
Yeah.
That way, so. I like this vehicle. It's nice.
That does seem really cool.
Yeah.
I like that it can hop.
Little hop thing, yeah. All right. Now what? Okay. Turn around. Head over here and see if it gets us where we're going. I feel like I've been lost on the map more in this game than in previous Borderlands, where it's been like, okay, I know I need to go that way, but I haven't revealed enough of the map, and the way there is kind of meandering.
Yeah,
I feel like that's been. I've run into that a few more times here than I feel like I did previously. But I don't know. That's whatever.
That's one place I thought the multiplayer always helped. Is like if you had two people in one vehicle, one can be actively navigating by looking at the map, and the other one's driving.
Oh right, yeah.
Anything new as far as crazy new types of enemies or whatever? I mean, I know the series has always had a ton of different types.
It's been a lot of scavs, and now this is kind of the first time we're seeing these guys.
Okay.
These torques, I guess. There's a rack equivalent on the moon, so flying guys. We got moonstones, which are used in the black market to pay for upgrades to your ammo capacity and stuff like that. The same way the other
purple stuff.
Yes,
whatever that was.
Things were
iridium or something.
Yes. Yeah, that's probably right.
So, do we know if this is the or if Battleborn is the Borderlands team? I don't know if they've said that.
I don't actually know how. I don't know how Gearbox is structured.
Right.
I can't really speak to that one way or the other. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm just curious, because you have to think the Borderlands 3 is
some of the writing
happening.
team, from Borderlands 2 worked on this. So,
Birch, yeah.
Yeah, so it's people at Gearbox definitely did touch this game in various ways.
Yeah.
But they definitely painted it as here's a 2K Australia game.
Yeah.
And then it's full of a bunch of Australia jokes and stuff like that. Where you're like, okay, this.
So if this sucks, it's not us.
That's sort of, yeah. I wonder. Gravity and such sometimes makes these items fly away in a more annoying way. But that's not a big deal. It's kind of cool the first couple times you open chests and stuff out in the environment, and just like all the stuff kind of starts flying away. You're like, oh god, the moon. Weird, right? Got it.
I think we both share a hatred of the Tiny Tina character, right?
Yep. Yeah. Not a fan.
She's awful. And the worst part is, so many people loved her in 2. That's just like, all right, I guess we're just gonna have to put up with this anytime we want to play Borderlands now. Like way more Tina, since the internet seems to love her.
I don't know. For me, it seemed like it was a little more divided than that. But yeah.
Oh really?
It was definitely not. I didn't feel like I was alone on my Tiny Tina dislike.
Oh, I felt that I saw like overwhelming. Like, it seemed like the internet reaction was like, oh man, this character's so hilarious and crazy, and like this is a terrible character.
Here to help. If the price is right.
Okay.
Good to meet ya.
Doc.
Spring says you're trying to get your mitts on some military AI. Well, it's your lucky day. You can half-inch one from the Drakensberg. I hear the bosun and the skipper who run that place are well-known collectors of rare.
The characters will sometimes
nifty
respond to
intelligences
which
of the
class you've picked,
artificial
which is kind of
persuasion.
interesting.
Trouble
Okay.
is,
But specifically,
it's not
that's
like
probably
you can
only
just
funny
walk
if you're
right
playing
up
as
to the
Claptrap.
place and ask
Ah,
to
I
have
gotcha.
an
Because there's sort of just like this acknowledgement of just like people don't fucking like Claptraps. And there's like, can't believe I'm fucking talking to this robot. It's
Okay.
like you get some of that I think is pretty well done.
Your echo with the most direct route there. Truth is,
See, I felt like Claptrap was more polarizing, with people like liking him or hating him.
I thought Claptrap was great in the first game, and they leaned on it a little too much in the second game.
Still had some good stuff,
Yeah,
like the
yeah.
mission where you go to his birthday party. I thought was hilarious.
Yeah, one of the like top level skills on the skill tree for Claptrap is high five. So you just put your arm up like he would in Borderlands 2.
Okay.
And if your allies come up and high five you, then they get bonuses.
Okay, that's really cool.
And if they don't, then you get bonuses. Because screw them.
Shouldn't your
basically.
stats go down? Like if you get left hanging?
No, if you get left hanging, there's kind of just like, well, fuck you guys.
Right.
It's kind of how the skill description is written anyway.
Okay. I like that. That's funny.
I didn't level up with Claptrap high enough to see it for myself, but that's sort of the concept.
I could half-inch pinch. The bosun and skipper have been good at keeping me out, but now you're here. That's about to change.
This thing just squeezes off 5 shots every time I pull the trigger.
Man, that seems like a really cool gun.
Only when zoomed in. It's just,
okay.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hey, buddy. What are we doing here? Where'd you go?
Are you a shoot from the hip kind of guy? I tend to do that a lot.
It depends on the weapon.
Yeah.
Borderlands made that a choice, because you have different firing modes depending on where you're zoomed in.
Yeah.
Or not, so.
That's why I always do like light machine guns in Call of Duty multiplayer. I just really love just holding down the trigger button and turning around.
Yeah. I feel like the melee strikes, I don't remember older Borderlands games looking this weak on the melees, where there's like very little reaction from them and no noise associated with it.
They were never great.
Yeah.
It didn't have a lot of weight to them ever.
I guess not. Yeah, it's. I need to go back and play those to know for sure. But
I think my newest favorite melee is in the new Wolfenstein.
Yep.
Because holy crap, you're just stabbing dudes right in the neck. And
that stuff's rough.
Yeah.
That stuff's real good.
It's awesome.
So I mean, this game, like, I feel like it made a pretty rotten first impression on me.
Yeah.
And I still don't think I love the oxygen mechanics and stuff like that. But it's all right. It is enough Borderlands that I'm still kind of going like, well, it is still Borderlands. Even though Borderlands 2 I had a lot of issues with, it was still like a pretty good loot game, pretty good shooter.
Yeah.
So, I've kind of been back and forth on this one. But I'm definitely not feeling like this like real compulsion, like this real pull to play this one the same way I felt with Borderlands 2.
Right.
I might say that that is actually probably the fault of Borderlands 2 and my general feeling on it.
Well, for what it's worth, I loved Borderlands 2, and like I don't feel full for this one. So,
Yeah.
although
Yeah.
you know, after watching this, it is kind of like triggering some like, oh yeah, I do like Borderlands a lot. I do kind of want to play more of it. So.
Yeah. Yeah. So, oh jeez, that's no good. Can I at least kill the rider?
Ooh.
No.
Oh,
This
that beast is
looking
going
like a
down pretty
no.
quick.
Oh, come on, one more reload.
Get
Just
it.
get me there.
Yeah.
It's a great mechanic.
Yes, it is. Oh man, you're getting rocked.
Let's get out of here.
Drakensburg, ex-Star warship and all that, crashed before the cracking, is what they say. Now a bunch of ripe-smelling scabs live there, led by the bosun and his friend, what's called the Skipper. Not that anyone knows what she looks like, which makes her
Look at this pickle kid. It's like a Dickens character.
Yeah.
Don't be shy to say hello to the locals on the way.
Let's spend our point here. And, yeah, let's just keep pumping it into that. Uh-oh. I don't have a lot of... Okay, I picked up some laser ammo, apparently. Anyway, yeah, maybe that's enough. Yeah, you kind of get the grasp of mechanical differences.
Yeah.
You know, the double jump isn't necessarily a huge boost. It's more of a glide, though, since you equip your oxygen tank here, and that has... Oh, yeah, still has badass ranks.
Oh, yeah.
Since that has stats on it, the oxygen tanks, you know, max your slam damage is there and stuff like that. There was one that gives you additional movement when boosting and stuff like that. So, you know, they kind of put some stuff in there. You know, grenades kind of the same, shields sort of the same. Class mods, you know, more of them it seems like, but you know, basically conceptually similar. I don't like that they keep resetting you back to just 2 weapon slots and having that unlock over the course of the game. It's like, look,
yeah.
Look, just let me carry 4 guns. This is crazy.
Yep.
I don't know that I'm game for like, oh, let's go spend more stuff to increase our backpack size and all this stuff. I was like, look.
Right. That's not necessarily fun.
Yeah. In a third game, yeah, that's maybe not. But yeah, it's you know, a lot of it is definitely the Borderlands blueprint, and I think you know that's going to dictate if people want to play this or not. You know, is how much they want something along these lines.
Right.
At this point, I think a lot of people have made up their mind about Borderlands, so you either know if you want another one of these or not.
Yep.
But if you're still on the fence, like, you know, or if you haven't played them, I would probably actually suggest that maybe you pick up Borderlands 2. Even though I have my problems with that game, it's there's a lot of game there.
Yeah.
And so, and it's probably available at a relatively cheap price. So,
Oh, I'm sure, yeah.
So I'd play that before playing this, for sure, because I'm kind of leaning towards that being a better game than this one from just some of the mechanical stuff in this. But
Gotcha.
yeah, there you go.
All right.
Thanks, Dan.
Thank you.